What's up? What's up, everybody? This is Behavior Code. I'm Yogi Chris, PhD, founder of Ninth Limb Yoga, and I'm bringing you my guest today is Trent Lara from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Well, no, not in Albuquerque. Sorry. That's where I've been so many times. He's in Roswell, I believe. Roswell, New Mexico. Is that right? Yeah, Roswell.
Yes,
Fuck.
sir.
When I think New Mexico, I think Albuquerque, and but you're in Roswell, where all the alien sightings have been, in a very famous area. And and here he is on the show. He's a graduate of many trainings with Arash Zepar, my teacher, and he's an anointed IMC shapeshifting warrior fighting monk, which is a mouthful, but that still doesn't encapsulate it all. And that's what we're going to talk about with Trent, because he's known for his speech and he's a natural at grabbing attention. And so we're going to see if we can decompose it a little bit of, how to understand this thing that, just came as a gift or whatever we call it. But I'll just briefly just hand it over to you, Trent, if you want to let people know, a little background about you and how you got into this whole, how did you come to be on this podcast now, starting from when you met AZD kind of thing?
Sure. Leading up to AZD, I'd say my life was much like a roller coaster. There's twists and turns, ins and outs. It was exhilarating. I felt queasy. At some point, I wanted to get off. But then I met a man, AZD, and he absolutely freed me from the ride that I felt that I was stuck to my entire life. And the way that this man did it was by being a living example of what he spoke about. This man had everything that I desired, and he showed it. He displayed it. It wasn't something that he just spoke about. It wasn't some fairy tale land. It seems mystical, sure, but it's tangible. It's realistic. And what he did is he freed me from my shackles. And relating it to a roller coaster, I would say that my entire life, I felt like I was stuck to this one roller coaster that was giving me nothing but confusion and pain and suffering, really. There was good, but a lot of bad. And once he freed me from the ride, you could say, I realized this world, this universe is full of different rides, different experiences that we can have. And the most beautiful thing about it is once I was freed from that, my mind was freed. And I realized that I had powers of creation that allowed me to create rides that would travel not just in the city, not just in the state, but throughout the entire world. Matter of fact, the entire universe, because it's spiritual. So meeting Arash was one of the greatest things that I could say I've ever had the pleasure of being a part of in my entire life.
Wow.
I don't know if that answers your question, but
yeah, there's a lot there to talk about. What is it that is, so you're saying he showed by example, as a living example, how to communicate in a way that, now I'm kind of bastardizing what you're saying, but could communicate in a way to create these rides, these roller coaster ride experiences for yourself and other people. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'd say more so that he just seemed free from whatever problem I was dealing with. He didn't seem like the type of man who was born without problem, but he seemed like he'd figured out how to escape.
Go into that. What is that? What did you like about escape? Because I think that's a loaded word. People are going to hear that and it's going to be a kind of a loaded word. Yeah, there's background music. He's playing Native American flute music. So it's very trancing, right? So yeah,
I'm supposed to hear that.
What do you mean by escape?
I'd say let's look at the converse. If you're trying to escape, you're looking for freedom. He seems free in all of the ways that the world is changed. Truly, he seems that he can speak in a way where he doesn't have to question anything that flies out of his mouth. He can act in a way that he doesn't have to question his motives, his state of mind, his beingness. Right. He doesn't have to worry about it because he's confronted himself as a person, as a being.
There it is, really, because I think a lot of people, and I would hear it from a girl a lot. A girl would be like, well, I also this or that. But that's because she's never been subjected to real questioning. And the questioning she's gotten was from guys that she lost attraction for, so she didn't feel the need to answer those fucking questions, or she lied, or the person was a bad questioner, or the person bent their questions because they really wanted to get in her pants, so they weren't really questioning her. They were just pretending to be interested in whatever the fuck she fed them, they swallowed, you know. And that, I mean, time and time again, I'm sure there's some women out there that aren't like that. I haven't met a single one though, but I'm sure somewhere there. And
Right.
so they kind of, and then guys too, it's the same thing with guys, because guys, they've adopted feminine qualities and traits and feminisms, right? And so this is like a breaking free of that for sure.
Definitely.
So all right, so then let's go into the more recent times. About how long ago would you say you like first came across AZD's? I mean, at the time he probably wasn't even AZD, but Arash's material online or whatever.
Really, it was about right around a year ago. So
that's dope.
Yeah, I really started heavily studying and committing myself. I had complete dedication and focus to it around, say, mid-February of this year. So I think I found out about him roughly October of last year.
That's rad. So I think you even came to, did you come to that? Anyway, so then Love Spell 1.0, 2.0, Lion's Den.
Yeah, I caught the tail end of Love Spell 1.0.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
included in this next Beast Camp. I'm very excited. Love Spell 1.0 was this great program of breaking down how he seduced this girl to be his girlfriend, very immaculate, and had other relationships going at the same time, and he's just making this one a little more just breaking down how he did it. Is very difficult seduction. That's Love Spell 1.0. So I took notes on all but just a few of these lectures that I missed, and I haven't really edited the notes, but I know that they're really good because that's just how the notes end up going. So I'm giving that away to the people that come to this next Beast Camp. And it'll be the first time I've given that away. So that's going to be a really good document for people. And then, so moving forward, the Lion's Den process. When did you get on the Lion's Den?
Immediately. Because Love Spell 2.0, it carried over. So my subscription, it went from that to that. And then from there, I carried on. So I was already into it by then.
Got it. So you did a boot camp in Love Spell, and then you got grandfathered into the Lion's Den program, which was immediately the Lion's Den. That first Lion's Den boot camp in June gave the processes for the mental, the emotional alchemy, and then the calisthenics routine that everybody was practicing. And the Telegram group was started. And so you've been on it since then, right?
Correct.
So what are some changes that you've seen in particular, the difference between the Love Spell program to the Lion's Den program?
I'd say the main difference is, first of all, it's the people who attend Lion's Den in comparison to the people who attended Love Spell.
That's true. It's different.
I respect the people who attended Love Spell. However, maybe respect isn't the right word. Maybe I admire some qualities in them, but I don't respect them as a physical being if we were in nature. Right. I'd feel like I could walk all over them because it seems they're so wrapped up in their heads that they can't confront reality. Yeah, and I'm not throwing a shot on any one person, but that's the overall vibe that I got. But it wasn't AZD. It had nothing to do with Arash. It's the people who were attending. I think there was more leniency in that department. Yeah, because they're unwilling to do the beasting routine, the beast process, the beast philosophy, and they were just there for seduction tactics and game skills and whatever. Right. So they're all in your head and ideas about it. Okay, so then fast forward to Lion's Den. When did you start to become more aware of, what were some of the breakthroughs that you've had in the last 3 or 4 months of Lion's Den? It's a great question. Yeah, I don't know, but I think putting it into words would do it a disservice because at some point I feel as if I could write a book about it. But right now it's in the process where I'm analyzing from almost an outside perspective the way I used to conduct myself in comparison to the way I conduct myself now. And not only that, but everybody else who's participating in the group too. Because you could see the changes and transformations in them.
So what's changed about how you conduct yourself?
I'd say I'm much more comfortable. I'm much more open. You know, I could say that I'm masculine, but that's a weird word to use. I'm just more upfront. I'm just, I'd say reality has hit. That's the best thing that I could say.
Reality has hit. What does that mean?
It means that I'm not living in a fantasy world that society has created for me to live out throughout my days as a process that they see fit, as such as a lion who's in the zoo. He's got a certain process that the trainers need him to follow, or else he might become too aggressive, too wild. He might affect the system.
Totally. That's almost like Monster at the last Beast Camp gave the lecture on, being a lion in the cage and a lion in the wild.
It blew me away. I stood up. I had to give an applause after that. It was amazing.
That's great. Yeah, it was great. Okay, cool. So, so you've become more real, come more present with what's actually happening instead of living out some fantasy, fucking zombie program that the culture gave you to, this is your purpose. You resisted that. You went. So then what's new for you? What's the future hold for you? Like you're out of that. It's more real. So now what?
Not only me, but everybody who's actually committed themselves to this process. I feel as if we possess a weapon that we can aim at anyone, not even our opponents, but anyone we wish to influence or anything branching from that word. We have the ability to hit them from an area that they can't even see. They have no idea what's going on.
How is that so? We got new people on the Zoom. It's all the alumni. All you guys have done Beast Camp, except Sergio. Sergio, you need to come to Beast Camp. I don't know. I keep messaging you, Sergio. You don't seem interested. You need to come up to San Jose. You're just down there in Los Angeles. You got a job. You can make it. All these guys have transformed. You should be there. So, or be here because I'm here. This is the base. So what is this weapon that you could direct at anybody and they don't even know it's happening? Because of influence, you're saying? Because of your ability to influence?
A certain power arises whenever you start living out your true purpose. And it's undeniable. So it's nothing that I could speak on because it's nothing tangible. People cannot fathom what we're pointing at them, what we have aimed towards them. So look, it may seem nonsensical, but whenever it affects you, you'll understand why I say things like this with such confidence.
When what affects you?
The influence. Not even me, if we choose, we could literally go from the inside of society and turn it out. Such as some men, especially pimps, want to turn out a female. You could do that to an entire group, an entire people. We could be such as COVID-19, going from population to population, affecting entire groups, just from one person to another, to another, to another. So I don't know what the question was, but I think if you end up going to a boot camp, you'll come out with more power than you ever thought possible. Is he frozen? No.
I agree. For sure, I agree with that. It says my internet connection is unstable, but I agree with what I heard.
Okay.
You'll come out with more power than you thought possible. Your possibilities will definitely be expanded. Sorry, there's echo on Instagram, with split screen stuff. I mean, come to Zoom. Zoom link is pinned there. Just come to Zoom. Turn your camera off if you don't want to have your camera on. Okay. Although that is kind of lame because I post this as an IGTV, so I wish there wasn't an echo. I guess the echo is from Trent's side. That's what it is. That's what it is. The sound goes through his computer. I remember how I did it in the past was like with earphones somehow, yeah, but then that looks kind of dorky. I don't know if I could maybe figure out the Bluetooth connection to the computer. That's what I'll do. Okay, so just tolerate the echo now. I'm surprised you guys tolerated it this long. You should just come to Zoom. The Zoom link is in my bio. You just come over here to Zoom. Okay. All right, well, let's field any questions or comments. Or I didn't really get, so what do you say you're living more on purpose. It's intangible. Like, so what are you going to do with this power? You got the power to influence when people don't even know about it. What would you do if you could do anything? What's next for TL? Where's your
say what's next? I don't really know what's next, man. Things are moving at such a fast pace that I'm literally living every 35 minutes, maybe. Every 35 minutes, there's an update. There's something new that we have to do. But
yeah,
overall, I really feel like we can create a new community. I'm not going to say a new society. That sounds like I'm a radical individual. But we can create something that's beautiful that people appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
To get into details, I don't know. We could brainstorm about that, but it's a new topic to me.
Yeah, right on. Right on. And I agree, just through communication, like doing these live streams, we reach people, we talk these ideas. It's a little bit of an echo with all the people that are already on Beast Camps, but then the new people, if Instagram wasn't censoring me right now, if fucking Facebook was letting me, there'd be a bunch of new people on right now. It's a good turnout considering like the shadow ban and Facebook isn't letting me stream right now. So whatever to that, but people will catch these recordings. So we're spreading ideas. I could say influence, but definitely people duplicate these ideas. They duplicate how we speak. Some of even just the vocabulary is ideas, and the grammar and syntax, all that. It just gets mirrored and reflected into the world. People will do slightly better to whatever degree they pick up the grimoire, the grammar, and then over time, maybe they invest, they come to an event, they get a rapid transmission of information. If anybody here bought the No Fucks Notes, Trent, have you read any of the No Fucks Notes?
I can't lie to you. I haven't finished it. So I'll get back with you whenever I do. Because I don't want to do that to you.
What percentage of it do you think you've read? 0%?
I don't want to do that to you. I haven't finished it.
You haven't finished? Have you started it?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit, like a page?
2,
yeah. You read 1, you read the title?
Roughly a page and a half. I don't want to be rude.
Be rude? That's not even rude. You're missing out. You should read the whole fucking thing. The thing is so good. The No Fucks Notes are so good, and there's so many of these things. I forgot why I was even bringing it up, actually. Anyway, are there any, let's see, Jason Phillips says, TL, how has the world been responding to you since Beast Camp, which was 2 Beast Camps ago, right? That was September. So about 5 weeks. How has the world been responding to you? Or what difference, I guess, let's improve the question even. What's new about how it's responding to you?
And it's been fascinating because it's been surprisingly positive. The one positive that I can say stands out the most to me is I have women of plus size, very large women. You could call them fat bitches if you want. They call me a sexy savage. And that makes all the difference, man. It's crazy.
Right on.
Is he right?
Is he what? Right on. Okay.
Yeah, I just got a bunch of fat bitches hitting me up. Nothing crazy, man. Yeah. I'm going to keep pushing.
Yeah. Cool. We got Najim. We got DC. You guys got anything for TL? TL is in Roswell, New Mexico. He's been around for a few months, or for about 8 or 9 months, and super seriously. And then he's graduated Beast Camp Live and anointed IMC monk. We got Freedom Ranger. Otherwise, I'm just going to let's see. So, what have you learned about?
Chris, I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead. What is it?
I guess first, how long have you been doing yoga? Like, really, you committed yourself to it?
Yeah. Well, the start date is kind of precarious because I don't know how to signify start date. Maybe about like May of 2011. It's a little over 9 years. But at some point you start doing it. It's like a very personal practice, right? So you just typically, some people go to class all the time. So it is still a personal practice, but there's a limit to that. When you do it like a beast routine, when you beast on your own, it's different than when you beast in a group. And if you can beast on your own without music, it's very different than when you beast in a group. So the yoga, you know, at some point you'll be with yourself, you'll be with your thoughts, and you'll have these, you know, recollections of, you know, time before this life that you may have already been doing this sort of thing. So it's a running joke, but it's what I tell, like if a girl asks me, like, how long have you been doing yoga? I'm like, do you mean in this lifetime? That's what I'll say to them, something like that. But they say, yeah, in this body, about 9 years. Right.
So what's the main thing that you see someone you obviously know just by looking at them that doesn't practice yoga? What's the main thing you see them struggle with? If you could just give a piece of information to help the general public. What's the problem?
The problem's more of it's a mental problem. And I think the longer that I took a pause to think about an answer for this question, I could give a better and better and better answer. Because the second answer that comes up, which I like better, is, you know, well, shit. Yeah. I mean, it would basically, if I could transmit a teaching, I don't know how quick and succinctly I could do it, but it would basically be something like you're living with a lot of violence towards yourself, and you're unaware of how much violence you are doing to yourself through your attitude and your internal dialogue, that the violence that was done to you, you are perpetuating with your subconscious patterns. And that is holding you back in life because no one else is holding you back. It's just your ideas, your perceptions. And a lot of those were violent to you as a being achieving liberation because it's a prison planet. So that's just how the program of language and culture has been passed down in all sorts of ethnicities. So I would transmit that teaching. You know, but I don't know how much good that would do because, you know, when you present a problem, you need a solution. So solution is very, you know, one of the things I like about a yoga practice, but it's, again, it can be so distorted, is that any kind of, when you can achieve liberation on your own practicing yoga, it's not like guaranteed in this life. Why? Because you're going to go on making many mistakes. There are people that stretch for a long time and they just keep stretching. They're unaware that they're like hurting themselves in their stretching. There are people that go on stretching for a long, long time and never pick up a book. They just stretch forever. Maybe they don't hurt their bodies, but they don't get any outside ideas. You know, maybe they get some outside ideas, but they go in the wrong way with those ideas. So but that's what it is. When you, the posture practice releases tension, which is it's like gluing your attention on an identity. And when you release the tension, it unglues your identity a little bit. You create a little bit more space inside of your mind. And then you can get some higher knowledge in there. It's like a wedge. You wedge open your mind a little bit. Eventually you want to get out of the mind, but then still be able to use your mind. It's very, you know, the solution, I may not be at the pinnacle of the answer, but the path that I'm on started with the recognition that my body was like a lockbox holding up my subconscious mind, and you can unlock it through the body would be what I do.
Wow. Wow. It's a great way to put it.
Yeah, it took a whole bunch of words to find that sentence. I wish I could have just said that sentence. Right. Now Gene was like, yeah, man, I wish you just said that sentence.
No, that's beautiful.
Thank you. So DC says, what does Trent practice except physical exercise in his beasting routine? I mean, that's going to go into the details of the beasting routine, but let's say physically, what are you practicing besides, do you even do the prescribed calisthenics or do you do your own thing?
You know, I came to the realization that I wasn't doing the beast process. I've been doing my own thing for pretty much this entire time, but it's relatively similar. The only thing that I do is I do the same 5 exercises every single day. And I do a variation of push-ups, pull-ups, squats with jump squats, dips, and then I do leg raises. So that's all I do. I don't really do much. That's not much to me.
Would you want to do more?
I would be up to it if it wasn't extremely time consuming.
Uh-huh. So it's not much, but it's all you can fit in sustainably right now.
I mean, I don't think I'm that motivated in that department. I get everything out of my body as of right now that I feel like I need to. And maybe I'm being ignorant to a lot of things. That's fine, but I'll figure it out. So just as of right now, I think it's my motivation more than anything.
So
So DC,
what departments are you highly motivated in right now?
I would say the mind, storytelling, acting, aesthetics, and not even the flow, but life is like a symphony, and I'm coming to see that more and more. I want to be, the thing that I see in Arash that I really admire is he's a conductor. He literally conducts throughout his relationships, throughout his businesses, everything he does, it's like he's orchestrating everything. And that's what I admire in him truly. So I think I'm trying to learn more as of how to do that.
Right on. Right on. Yeah. Orchestrating your life like that. Yeah, that's what it is. You know, that's what residency, you'll get a lot of the rhythm of his day. You know, he was just coaching, George's Copa is here for residency. And he was just talking about like schedules in and outs, you know, when does the girls come by? How do I, you know, just how he organizes everything and the mindset of it. It's Soph. That's amazing. I'm surprised you're here. It's Soph. I haven't seen for like 6 years. It's been forever. Good to see you. You probably did this.
I have a question.
She's getting off right now. What's up, Jonathan? Freedom Ranger.
Got the eagle in the background.
So Trent, what's your favorite beast out workout? Like which day?
Well, like he said, he did the same exercises every day, Johnny Freedom. So he does his own 5 exercises and variations of them every. So what's your favorite exercise? Or do you think in those terms, TL?
You know what? One thing that I need to do more of is legs, because I feel powerful whenever I work my legs. So if I had to say anything, it's the routine. I don't know which day it is, but whichever day you do legs, that's the day.
You mean like burpees?
Not really burpees, more squats, the wall sits, stuff like that.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. Awesome. DC, this will be the last question. It says, is Trent's fascination with the mind connected with the law of attraction?
I would say my fascination of the mind came before the law of attraction was ever introduced to me. The law of attraction is definitely interesting, but I would say I don't think about it on a day-to-day basis. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yep. Sure did. All right, everybody. Any burning things? Anybody on Zoom want to unmute? Going once, going twice. All right. You can catch this recording.
I was going to say something to Trent.
Yeah, go ahead.
What was that?
When you're at saying that you were looking into acting, I can definitely see that. And I always wanted to tell you, your voice is like the new age Morgan Freeman. Like when you read the passages and stuff. So you sound really cool, man.
Bro, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm gonna actually, after this, I've got a nice green bowl loaded up. I'm gonna take a huge hit for you, man.
Thank you, bro. Actually, you know, I did quit that 1 week, but I'm back on it again. But it's like now how I feel about it is like, if I want it, I want it. If I don't, I don't.
Yeah, man. That means, look, you broke you're free. You're free.
Exactly.
Yeah. Salute, bro. Salute.
Thank you. Salute.
All right. That was great. Cannabis entertainment at the end there. Thank you, everybody. Subscribe to the channel if you're catching this recording after the fact, for sure. Interested in the next Beast Camp, Love Spell 1.0 notes comes with the live attendance. And DM me for that, or send an email, yogichris@ninthlimb.com. And we'll see you next time. Peace.